The Rory Knight's identity has been a mystery since we first heard of them in Chapter 1, and with the new information in Chapter 3 and 4, we've met the Knight and discovered lots of information about them. People have even discovered 2 candidates that could be the Knight, Carol and the general consensus, December Holiday, Noelle's missing sister. But we're not here to talk about that today, because by analysing the evidence extensively, I've discovered insane connections to another character who's been here since the very beginning. You saw the thumbnail, it's... You like it flashy, huh?
What the hell, Abdul? What have you been smoking? Now, don't get me wrong, every time someone even mutters the name Carol, I pin them against the wall. Stab them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, and then pull them across the room like this? Watch your back tonight, because you're not waking up.
I know, it sounds silly, but when you look into the design, you realize it's more plausible than you think. And the last piece of evidence proves that I'm 100% right. Thank you to the Nether King for criticizing my theory and making me rewrite everything. In Deltarune, by defeating Eram, we get the Shadow Mantle, an item which acts as a defense against dark star magic. In Undertale, what does Asriel use? Star magic. The Knight's attack is actually a reference to another RPG. Specifically, it's a reference to Earthbound's PK stars, as seen in the image on screen. So there is no denial that they both share the same type of attacks, even if they aren't one-to-one. In addition to this, both of them shoot rays of light from their hands. Dark fountains in Deltarune are said to reflect the person who made them, and titans are like sentient dark fountains to be sealed. Where am I going with this? Well, one of the attacks the titan uses is this thing, which is eerily similar to the Omega Flowey Mouth attack. In the game files, there's a hidden sound called SND_night_pulse, and when slowed down, it sounds like this. Credits to Mold23 for the audio. You heard it right, that's exactly the same as Asriel's adult voice. Back to the Night fight, and their special attack is the exact same as Asriel's. In the Hypergonner, Asriel absorbs a bunch of stars with his head in the middle, which looks similar to the Knight's head when he screams. Note that before this attack, the Knights start glowing, and in Undertale there's unused flavor text that reads, Asriel is glowing with a strange power. Knights look closely at the hand the Knights holds their sword with, the left hand but can also use the right. In Undertale, what do we see? Asriel using his left hand, and when holding the Chaos Sabers, he uses both of them. Are you a moron? That's clearly a bat. This is items, not Asriel's. Wrong again. In Undertale, there is an unused weapon called Asriel's Bat, and has the exact same attack value as the Knight. Source linked in the description. So we know from this that the bat belonged to Asriel, and Des probably borrowed it. Either way, we know that Asriel had a bat too at least. Look at this, it's so obvious, you cannot make this up. Now, a lot of people will make counter-arguments surrounding the Knight's appearance, but this can be explained easily. We know Asriel was very religious, so antlers could be a cross or sign of a loyalty to the Holiday family. Perhaps on his journey to help Carol and Kris find Des, which would explain why Kris helps the Knight again. Important, but if you look at Asriel's Phase 2 design, it fits the same shape as the Deltarune. This is important proof that Asriel is the angel, or at least one of the main 3 candidates, and Rory Knight has a similar anatomy. Deltarune is a parallel universe to Deltarune. Am I an idiot? Why did I write that? So if Asriel is one of the 3 angels in Undertale, then he has to be central to the prophecy in Deltarune. Now, you might be wondering, why would Asriel do that? And besides, isn't he at college? Well, you see, there is a possibility he could be here, or already finished it. We know from Chapter 2, at least I think it's from Chapter 2, that Kris and Asriel communicate through emails, but this week the Knight appeared and the internet mysteriously went down. So it's not out of the open for Asriel to be here without everyone knowing. For the motivation, well, it's the same as Carol Knight is. He wants to help Kris and everyone bring back Des. Either way, it's not the specifics but the overall elements. If Des is the Knight, then that just means she's influenced by him. #Dessriel. Now, the Knight does a lot of poses during the fight that are not only similar to Asriel, but Kris's. This would explain why they're so similar, as with being the little sibling, they would obviously be influenced by the older one. Now some people may say that Kris looked up to Des more as their role model, but since Azzy and Des were close, Asriel could also be influenced by Des. But either way, that doesn't really add or disprove anything. So at this point, since you made it so far, I'm going to tell you this undeniable fact that proves I'm 100% right. But first, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. I'm trying to get 1 video out a month this year, and doing it would be very motivating. Now, the undeniable fact that proves my theory is foolproof, I'm 100% correct, is that they both have intense aura!